slowly rolls out of a hangar in China. This isn't just any aircraft, it's the COMAC C919, China's bold answer to the Boeing 737 and Airbus A320, two giants that have long dominated global skies. At first glance, the C919 looks like any modern commercial jet's streamlined body, elegant wings, and high-performance engines. It's a monumental stational positor. The aircraft is built with some of the most advanced and trusted components in the aerospace industry. Its engines are the LEAP 1C, co-developed by General Electric from the United States and Safran from France. Its avionics come from Honeywell, another stalwart of American aerospace technology. Landing gear systems, built by Collins Aerospace. Even the tires are from Michelin. Every major system in the C919 is backed by companies with long-standing reputations and certifications from Western aviation regulators. And yet, despite this high pedigree, despite playing by every international rule in the book, the C919 remains grounded outside China, not because of safety concerns, not because of faulty systems, and not because of failed inspections. Instead, it's bureaucratic red tape, or so it appears. The European Union Aviation Safety Agency, EASA, recently announced that it would delay the international operations by an estimated 3 to 6 years. That delay is not a technicality. For COMAC, it's a massive road headlines. Certain U.S. media outlets wasted no time in mocking. The jet would be said that the C919 is destined to remain an irrelevant local curiosity. But that's not the story. The real issue isn't about technical paperwork or regulatory bottlenecks, it's about leverage, geopolitical influence, and a deeply entrenched aviation hierarchy being challenged in real time. And China's response to this unexpected hurdle is not playing out the way critics predicted. To fully understand what's at stake, one must grasp the significance of aircraft certification. In aviation, certification isn't just a regulatory formality, it's everything. A type certificate is essentially a passport for planes, an official declaration by a country's aviation authority that an aircraft is safe to fly. Without it, commercial aircraft cannot operate on international routes. No certificate means no global flights, no export potential, no cross-border leasing agreements, and no real market. It's like building a race car and being told you can only drive it in your backyard. Now here's where the global power dynamics come into play. In the aviation world, two regulators dominate: the U.S. Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, and EASA. These two agencies are the de facto gatekeepers of the skies. Their certifications are so authoritative that many other nations simply defer to their judgment. If the FAA or EASA gives the green light, dozens of other countries follow suit. China has understood this reality for years. In 2019, Beijing and the European Union signed a bilateral aviation safety agreement designed to facilitate mutual recognition of certification standards. The thinking was simple: if China builds a plane that meets EASA standards, it should be certified. China even went the extra mile. In 19, using Western mobile track records, that this would smooth the surface. Every decision to meet international, no shortcuts, proprietary systems, acceptable aircraft. With Europe delaying a clear reason that allows China agreed to. What's the hold on the C919? This is a project. It's a careful jet using technology. C-Engine 19 are both the F and V. Power 2.0 Neo, best-selling jets, Honeywell, Rockwell fuel systems, every component reliability, even first from Michelin, essentially believe added to meet international. So why does such scrutiny? Building a smart parts of Qualcomm, Samsung Cameroni to own still needs inspection simply Apple or Sam. Contradiction COMAC Aviation dotted less like qual more like on the surface that's be a value, even individual stems smoothly. Now starts this isn't has followed the ratio in China agency dungeons in China, then in EASA concern satellite projections answered, but under the satellite networks and this pattern repeats itself. China plays the game, follows the rules, invests time and resources only for the rules to be reinterpreted when success seems imminent. In commercial aviation, this is particularly significant. The industry has long been a duopoly between Boeing and Airbus, controlling over 90% of the global market. For decades they have faced little challenge. But now, COMAC, backed by the world's second-largest economy and a robust industrial base, presents a real alternative. For the first time, the duopoly feels the heat. And in this context, the delay in certifying the C919 starts to look like something other than regulatory caution. It starts to look like a tactical move to protect entrenched interests. Let's tackle another common criticism. Who would even buy the C919? The short answer: a lot of people. Even without international certification, China itself offers a massive market. According to the International Air Transport Association, China is projected to become the world's largest aviation market by 2042, with a demand for over 9,000 new aircraft. That's nearly a quarter of global demand. COMAC doesn't need to conquer the world, it just needs a share of its own market to succeed, and success is already underway. Chinese airlines have placed hundreds of orders for the C919, ensuring a robust domestic future. But the ambition doesn't stop at China's borders. Several Southeast Asian countries, including Malaysia, Indonesia, and Vietnam, have shown interest in the C919. Many of these countries are part of China's Belt and Road Initiative and are increasingly open to recognizing Chinese aviation standards in place of Western benchmarks. Now let's talk about Airbus. Often painted as the victim in this emerging rivalry, in reality, Airbus could stand to lose significantly if China rethinks its aviation partnerships. Since 2006, China has bought more planes from Airbus than from Boeing. There are over 2,200 Airbus aircraft flying in Chinese skies today, making up more than half of the country's civil aviation fleet. Airbus even manufactures aircraft in China at its Tianjin plant, which produces up to 6 jets per month. If China begins to favor domestic aircraft over imports, Airbus's foothold could weaken dramatically. The narrative that no one wants the C919 is not only inaccurate, it ignores basic economics. The numbers favor China, and the future could tilt even further in COMAC's direction. Faced with these delays, China isn't just waiting around, it's adapting fast. First, it's pursuing engine independence. The current LEAP-1C engines are Western-made, but COMAC is now collaborating with the Aero Engine Corporation of China, AECC, to develop a domestic alternative, the CJ1000A. If successful, this engine could replace Western components and eliminate a key certification choke point. That move alone would dramatically shift the balance of power. But China is beyond engineering. Through diplomatic channels, it is building a parallel aviation framework. Several Belt and Road countries have already signed mutual recognition agreements, which would allow the C919 to fly commercially without needing FAA or EASA approval. This is China's signature approach. Instead of confronting the global system head-on, it builds an alternative from the ground up. Economic leverage also plays a role. China doesn't need to launch boycotts or issue press releases to make a point. Instead, it can quietly shift procurement patterns. State-owned airlines could begin prioritizing the C919 for domestic routes. Future Airbus orders might slow unless certification processes accelerate. No confrontation, no scandal, just the slow gravitational pull of strategic economics. What's happening is not a reaction born of pride or nationalism. It's about survival and independence. When you're locked out of a system, the rational response is to build your own. That's exactly what China is doing. The C919 is more than just a plane, it's a symbol of technological self-reliance, geopolitical pushback, and long-term vision. Think of Huawei. After being cut off from U.S. chip supplies, it didn't disappear. Innovated, it released new phones with domestically produced processors, defying predictions of collapse. Or Beto, born after exclusion from Galileo, now a cornerstone of China's global tech infrastructure. These weren't just technological victories, they were declarations of independence. The C919 is on a similar trajectory. Initially, China tried to fit in, to follow the global aviation rulebook, but as the rules shifted, so did China's strategy. Instead of protest now, building not just planes, but engines, electronics, certification systems, and global alliances. By delaying the Western regulators China's transformation, and this isn't a China, it's a global inflection point. Aviation won't be dictated solely to lose anymore. Tianjin, entering the aerospace conversation. The skies are getting more crowded, more competitive, and more complex. So if anyone still thinks this is just about one airplane, they're missing the bigger picture. The C919 is just the beginning of a new era. And that's why this moment matters. If you found this deep dive valuable, consider subscribing for more insights into global technology, strategy, and the underreported stories shaping tomorrow's world. We'll be here to help decode the future, one breakthrough at a time. Imagine the scene. A gleaming new passenger jet, spotless and sleek, slowly rolls out of a hangar in China. This isn't just any aircraft, it's the COMAC C919, China's bold answer to the Boeing 737 and Airbus A320, two giants that have long dominated global skies. At first glance, the C919 looks like any modern commercial jet: streamlined body, elegant wings, and high-performance engines. It represents a monumental step in China's aviation ambitions, not just as a regional power but as a potential global competitor. The aircraft is built with some of the most advanced and trusted components in the aerospace industry. Its engines are the LEAP 1C, co-developed by General Electric from the United States and Safran from France. Its avionics come from Honeywell, another stalwart of American aerospace technology. Landing gear systems, built by Collins Aerospace. Even the tires are from Michelin. Every major system in the C919 is backed by companies with long-standing reputations and certifications from Western aviation regulators. And yet, despite this high pedigree, despite playing by every international rule in the book, the C919 remains grounded outside China. Not because of safety concerns, not because of faulty systems, and not because of failed inspections. Instead, it's bureaucratic red tape, or so it appears. The European Union Aviation Safety Agency, EASA, recently announced that it would delay certifying the aircraft for international operations by an estimated 3 to 6 years. That delay is not a technicality. For COMAC, it's a massive roadblock. Q. The predictable headlines. Certain U.S. media outlets wasted no time in mocking the jet who would buy it anyway. What's the point? These sentiments suggest that the C919 is destined to remain an irrelevant local curiosity. But that's not the story. The real issue isn't about technical paperwork or regulatory bottlenecks. It's about leverage, geopolitical influence, and